guys, so on today's episode we're actually gonna drain the coolant out of the radiator. We're gonna take it to one of our buddies, David, and we're gonna have him cut our shroud in half so we get the maximum pull from the fan. Because as of now, I don't know, Jose, if you can zoom in right here, there's a hole, so we think it's not getting enough cooling, so we plan on having him cut it right to the edge, to this edge, and then kind of weld it together.
And then mount. Or
yeah. And then
some tabs on the other side, right?
Yeah, weld some tabs on here to have a front mounted fan. And then hopefully get some other stuff, some like little stuff that we need for the car welded, just so it's a one hit go. Alright guys, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have David basically cut this off, discard this, weld this edge that has a 90 back to it, just so that shroud is isolated with just one fan instead of having that hole.
So essentially we're turning it from a full size shroud to a half size shroud.
Alright guys, and then as far as the front of the radiator, we're gonna have another fan. Gonna have him fab up some tabs to mount it to the front on the opposite side.
So he's gonna weld tabs directly to the tank.
Yeah. Gotta give us maximum cooling.
And the reason why he has to put the fan on the front is because
So
on
there's
this
a
side of the
clearance
fan
issue.
is where the headers are.
So if I were to do this, it would either melt or it would touch.
Yeah, it'll touch or melt the fan. It'll just be bad. So
it would fit if we had like an OEM thinner rad, but you lose more cooling efficiency with that.
yeah.
I wouldn't really get a smaller one unless this breaks. Alright, so when I bought the car, the radiator, it comes with this drain, right? And I was thinking of either having them weld just the AN fitting, something that's more simple, or have them actually block this off and tap the bottom just so it's a bottom drain. But I think that's something that we have to look at right now, see if there's any interference anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. Either we do a 90 down and then that way he can just cap it and it'll drain straight down, or
Then
go hole in
this too, we need to fix this because this rubs on my coolant overflow. I need to shake that off. A couple little things. the fan, the 12 volts, the battery, the OEM ground for the thermostat switch. Guys, so next up is that we're gonna end up doing a Type R brake upgrade on our car. So it's basically Type R calipers and Mini Cooper rotors off a base model 2007. So what we basically need is we need a 23T caliper bracket, which is basically off an Accord. The 23 stands for the millimeters, so which is the width, because I know there's a couple of them which is Type R, which is like 25, and then there's a 28, which is like an Acura Legend or a Vigor, I think. But yeah, basically we want to get the least amount of millimeters, so we got the 23T, and then the calipers that we need are going to be the 17 CL 15 VN. So we need a right and a left, and that's basically also a Type R caliper Accord CRV as well. And then the rotors that we need are the Mini Cooper. It's going to be the 07 base model Mini Cooper. So you basically need a 280 millimeter rotor. That way it fits properly, because if you get a bigger one, they usually don't clear the bracket, so you would either have to shave off the bracket, or you sometimes have to just have to go down to the 280, because that's the one that clears the best. So what I did basically, because I bought my rotors at O'Reilly's, so I just basically just painted the outside, because they come with like a primer gray, but that stuff doesn't really hold up. So I just basically painted it some Rust-Oleum. Alright guys, so also it's not necessary to do, but I like it because it kind of clears up the slop, even though the center bore is actually perfect from the Mini Cooper to the Honda, which is 56.1. But these are basically rings that go around the rotor. These are made by Alithia Motorsports. You can always hit them up and they'll ship them to you. Yeah, so right here, it's basically just to clear up the slot because our actual lug nut isn't a 14 millimeter like there, so this is a 12. So this kind of clears the slot. It's basically just a peace of mind. It's not really necessary because I've seen people run them without it, but it's just a peace of mind whenever you're out on the track.